Imagine the roaring crowd, the intense gaze of two fighters, and then a sudden knockout that leaves everyone breathless. In the heart of the arena, under the glaring lights, stood Nicky, the knockout king Piper, a man whose fists were as sharp as his intellect. Despite his reputation for a less than stellar defense, Piper's matches were never short of drama and spectacle. On this electrifying night, Piper faced a formidable opponent who was favored to win, given Piper's defensive vulnerabilities. The bout was intense. Every punch thrown was a narrative of grit and strategy. Piper, absorbing blows that would have deterred a lesser man, waited for his moment. And then it came. With a swift and precise uppercut, Piper turned the tables. The punch was a beautiful culmination of timing and power, a testament to his strategic mind. The opponent hit the canvas hard, the crowd erupted, and the arena vibrated with cheers for Piper. This knockout not only floored his opponent, but also marked Piper as a fighter to remember. In a world where brawn often overshadows brains, Nicky Piper stands as a striking exception. Born with a razor-sharp intellect, Nicky was not just any child. He was a prodigy who found his way into Mensa, an exclusive society for those with the highest IQs. His childhood was marked by an insatiable curiosity and a voracious appetite for knowledge, devouring books and excelling in academia. Yet in the twists and turns of his life, the allure of the boxing ring beckoned. It was a path less expected for someone of his intellectual stature. The contrast was stark, from quiet libraries to roaring arenas. But Nicky was not one to shy away from challenges, no matter how unconventional they seemed. He embraced the rigorous discipline of boxing with the same fervor he applied to intellectual pursuits. His journey raises a compelling question. What drives a man of such intellectual prowess to choose the physically grueling world of boxing? Nicky Piper, a man whose intellectual capacity could have led him anywhere, chose the punishing world of boxing rings. How does a Mensa member approach the brutal sport of boxing? With strategy, psychology, and an analytical mind. Nicky Piper, known as the Knockout King, brought a unique perspective to the boxing world. With an IQ that placed him in the upper echelons of Mensa, Piper's approach to boxing was as much about mental agility as it was about physical prowess. He dissected his opponents not just in the gym, but also on paper, studying their tactics, predicting their moves, and planning his strategies meticulously. However, Piper's intellectual approach had its drawbacks. His reliance on strategic thinking sometimes overshadowed the need for a solid defense. While he could anticipate and exploit his opponent's weaknesses, he often left himself open to unexpected blows. This paradox made each of his matches a thrilling spectacle of brains versus brawn. Indeed, Piper's cerebral style transformed the canvas into a chessboard. Each move was calculated, each decision weighed with the precision of a scholar. His bouts were not mere displays of physical strength, but intricate dances of intellect and strategy, showcasing that boxing, much like chess, is a thinker's game. Piper's fights were not just tests of physical strength, but battles of wits and strategy. Every fighter has weaknesses, and Nicky Piper's was his defense. While his intellect always shone through in his strategic approach to boxing, there were moments inside the squared circle where his physical vulnerabilities were laid bare. Consider some of his major fights. Often, Piper would start strong, showcasing a formidable offensive arsenal. But as the rounds progressed, the gaps in his defense became more apparent. Opponents, spotting these weaknesses, capitalized on them, landing heavy blows that sometimes altered the course of the match. Piper's bouts were a testament to the fact that mental acuity alone isn't enough in the gritty reality of boxing. His high IQ could devise a plan, but in the heat of battle, the body must be just as prepared as the mind. Despite his best efforts to adapt and cover his bases, some punches inevitably found their mark, leading to tough situations that tested his resilience and fortitude. Even the smartest strategies couldn't always shield Piper from the harsh realities of boxing. Nicky Piper, often remembered for his knockouts, left a complex legacy in the boxing world. A rare blend of brawn and brain, Piper's career was a riveting saga of highs and lows. Known widely as the Knockout King, his ability to deliver jaw-dropping punches made him a fan favorite. Yet it was his intellectual approach to the sport that truly set him apart. In an arena where physical prowess often overshadows all else, Piper shone as a beacon for those who believed in the power of intellect. A member of Mensa, his strategic thinking and understanding of boxing dynamics were evident in every match, even if his defensive skills sometimes lagged behind. Piper's career highlights include sensational victories that are still discussed in boxing circles today. More than just a fighter, he was a thinker, constantly analyzing and evolving within the sport. His influence persists, inspiring a new generation of boxers who see the value in mental agility as much as physical strength. Nicky Piper, a testament to the power of combining intellectual prowess with physical strength. In the dance of boxing, where every move counts, Nicky Piper played a tune all his own. Inside the squared circle, his fists composed symphonies of ferocious punches, yet his mind orchestrated strategies with the precision of a seasoned maestro. Nicky wasn't just another pugilist, he was a member of Mensa, a society for those with top-tier intellectual capabilities. His journey in the ring was an intriguing blend of brute force and brilliant tactics. While his defense might have had its flaws, getting caught with punches more often than he'd have liked, it was his intellectual approach that set him apart. He analyzed his opponents not just physically, but psychologically, anticipating moves in a game of high-stakes chess with gloves. This unique blend challenged the often one-dimensional view of boxers. Nicky showed that muscles and mind are not mutually exclusive. His career encouraged others in the sport to embrace education and strategy as key components of their training regimes. Nicky Piper, not just a fighter, not just a thinker, but a trailblazer who dared to be both.